Hey guys, my name is Heather Schreiber Burns, and I wanted to share with you some tips since I've had so many of you so kind and asking for some tips on how I have been able to grow my business really quickly in a very short amount of time. And so the short answer to that, and I could probably end this video with this, is God is my Lord and Savior. And I know that is not really the answer that's going to necessarily instantly help you build your business, but truly I give God the glory to all of the success that I've had in such a short amount of time. It truly has been crazy and really unexplainable almost. However, with that being said, I do have some tips that I do want to share with you because I really do want everyone to be successful, and I don't ever want anyone to look at me like I just got lucky or I don't know, that I have some tips or tricks, things that I'm just like, I have this big secret that I am holding from everybody that other people can't be successful. So with all of that being said, I actually have been in direct sales for, well, technically, I have trial and errored 3 times. I signed up for a direct sales business, about 11 years ago when I was a teacher, and I failed miserably. I didn't sell one thing. I think I spent about $600 on my starter kit, and when I moved from Arizona to Texas, about 5 years ago, I threw away all of those samples, and I ended up never selling anything, wasted my money. Like I said, put it on a credit card. I was broke as a joke as a teacher, and I thought direct sales is definitely not for me. With that being said, I ended up stumbling into another business several years later once I was postpartum with my first child, and I saw amazing results with products from a direct sales business. And then not only did I see amazing results and I felt wonderful, I learned about the business opportunity, and I was desperate to be able to stay home with my son. I had to go back to work after maternity leave and literally felt like someone was ripping my heart out of my chest. And so I just prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and I knew that there had to be something for me, and I knew that God had put that on my heart for me to be able to be home with my babies, but still have a business. I am a recovering workaholic, I guess you could say, but I truly do. I love to work. I love being a mom, but I really do love working. And I love setting goals for myself. I love having something outside of motherhood. And so my newborn is crying. I have a 9-week-old, so let me go grab her and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Nursed her, and hopefully she is good to go. But anyways, this is truly what it is like to work from home. With 1 was hard, right? And now 2 is just a whole other ball game. But here we are. So long story short, I really wanted to work from home. Oh no, don't worry. I had that ready. And I really just did everything that I could in order to make that happen. And so I went back to work, and I worked my other business for 10 months and got to a point where I was making enough money with that business to be able to quit my corporate job. I wasn't making my full income, especially not my base plus commission, but it was enough to pay our bills. And so I knew that with hard work, I could just keep investing more time into that business and continue to make more income, and we would be fine. I would get there at some point. So with all that being said, I have a really long post on my personal page about me actually resigning from that company last week, which was probably one of the hardest things I ever did. But about 3 months before this little angel was born, I had an overwhelming sense from God telling me that I needed to slow down. I'm a hustler. I like to work really hard, and I like to set goals, and I like to achieve them. And so I have done that, especially with my first, but I knew that I didn't want to have to give up that much time knowing that she was coming into the world. And so I ended up we'll see, I might have to end this, but I ended up just really feeling an overwhelming sense from like a message from God just telling me, like, you need to slow down. You need not to hustle so much. I have a plan for you, right? Our family verse is Jeremiah 29:11, that I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, give you hope in a future. And so I knew that was true, and I finally accepted that maybe it was time for me to slow down. And I think every business has a season, right? A season of hustle, a season of harvest, a season of, all of the different seasons, right? And so I was just in a season of slowing down and really enjoying the end of my pregnancy with my son, who is now napping. And so before this little girl got here. And so with all that being said, once it was time to really start considering going back to work, which I'm still only 9 weeks postpartum. However, my income from my other business was just at a standstill. And it seemed like no matter what I did, no matter how hard I worked, I really invested a lot of time, a lot of heart, a lot of energy into my team. I had about 300, at one point, my business had about 400 in my downline, but when I ended, it was about 300. And guys, this is like real life, right? But for some reason, it just wasn't progressing. It wasn't getting to where I knew that. So I talk a lot about on social media, God-sized dreams. And I knew, and I know that my God-sized dreams of my husband and I being able to both be home with our kiddos and work together, and him pursue his dreams and me continue to pursue mine. I know that's going to happen. I just felt like I wasn't in the right business to make that happen, because no matter how hard I worked, no matter what I did, it just wasn't working. And so long story short, I discovered this business through online social media, right? And I actually had been in a mom group where one of the girls who I just adored, I knew she did another network marketing business because, of course, I had already thought, oh my gosh, I'd love to work with her with my former one, but I knew she already did one. And so I never recruited her or tried to, poach or anything. But I really genuinely liked her, and I really had genuinely followed her on social media because she's a mom, she's young, she's like, I just really jive with her. She loves Jesus and she talks about it. And so we were very similar, right? So like attracts like, right? And that's something I'm going to share in a little bit. But I genuinely liked her, never have even met her face to face. But I started seeing her start to post about this new company, SeneGence, and, the lipstick and showing everything. By the way, I'm like really battling dry lips, so I only have glossy gloss on right now, which is kind of funny that you would think I would try to get all dolled up for this. But anyways, so I was watching her, and I've been seeing her journey, and I've been seeing her success, and I'm super happy and proud of her and excited for her. But then at one point I kind of thought, what is that company? I don't know. I think a seed was planted, right? And I got curious after I tried the product and thought it was really cool. And so something in me, maybe the Holy Spirit, I'm not sure, told me, look up that company. And so I did. In all honesty, I went to the website and thought, what is this? The branding is just not quite where the product is just amazing, right? And so the branding kind of threw me off a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep researching. Well, then the more I researched, the more I realized this is such a ground level opportunity. And anyone in direct sales knows that is like that's a gift, right? Everybody wants in on the ground level. Everybody wants in on the early stages. If you ride it out and you stick through the growing pains, you really could have true financial freedom. And that's what I was trying to achieve in my former business, but I just wasn't getting there. And I literally, I tried to revamp literally everything in my business to recruit more, to train better, to onboard better, all the different things, to have better leadership skills, just everything that I could possibly think of that, a business would need work on. I really tried, and it just wasn't progressing until I got to the point where I realized it's not because I'm a failure, not because I'm a terrible leader, or that I'm terrible at my job. It's because I was just simply in the wrong business. Insert SeneGence. And so, you want to lay down? Huh? You want to lay down? Yeah. Okay. You lay down. Yeah. So, with all of that being said, I want to share with you some of my biggest tips on just social media, network marketing, recruiting, sales, just in general. I think besides the fact that I really feel like me being obedient to God and listening to him tell me that my former business wasn't where he wanted me, and that this is the opportunity he really wants me to pursue, along with I have a faith-based apparel line that I am about to launch here soon. Like I have time to do any of this, but we'll just figure it out. God's got me covered, right? But I listened to him. And last week closed down my account with my former direct sales business and literally gave up all of my income. I gave up a all expenses paid trip to Punta Cana that will happen in May. I gave up an all expenses paid trip to California that I was supposed to go on next month. I am giving up, obviously, a tribe of women who I love. Not really giving them up though, right? Which is another thing I'll touch on. So here's how it is. I think first of all, this is a direct sales business. It is network marketing, and you have to be a networker in order to be successful. And truthfully, I've been a networker for quite some time, from the smallest things of, moving into a new city. Oh, I wish you could see her face. Moving to a new city. She's smiling. He's smiling at mama, huh? Boss babes raise boss babes, huh? Yeah. You're going to be a boss babe someday. I think, it's just connecting a person in a new city with a friend that already lives there, like those kinds of things. Just really, really genuinely helping people and networking with people just to do so, because I'm just a people person and I like networking. And I really feel like that has totally paid off, since getting into a direct sales business. And so a great book that I highly recommend all of you go get is Go Givers Sell More. And I think that has a lot to do with just kind of my mentality and who I've been. Once I read the book, honestly, in my last business, I read the book and I thought, I do all these things. I do so many of these things, maybe not all of them, but I do so many of them. And I feel like, I can sell like crazy, but I want to recruit. I want to really duplicate. I want to show people how to do this business. So anyways, again, this is networking. It's all about building a network. And so you have to network, right? So when you meet one person that loves your product, you have to encourage them to share it with their friends and invite their friends to do it. So that's one way I feel like I've been successful, in this business quickly is just sharing my excitement for it, that other people are getting excited too. So I think one of the biggest things in a direct sales business is if you want to be paid like it's your job and a business, you have to treat it like it's a business. So you're either going to treat it like it's a business and get paid like a business, or you're going to treat it like it's a hobby and get paid like a hobby. And for me, this is truly a do or die situation. I just literally signed off my last business over to the company and gave up all of my income, truly because I feel like it's what God wanted me to do, but because I feel like there is such an amazing opportunity here that I'm giving up a lot, but I'm also gaining a lot more. And just in the last 4 weeks, this business, although I have been literally drowning in lip sense, like literally, and it is overwhelming with the orders and it is overwhelming with the amount of stuff I have, but it's so much easier than what I was doing. And I've been having a lot of fun. Even though I'm overwhelmed, I am still having a lot of fun. So if you treat this like a business, then you're going to get paid like it's a business. And if you treat it like it's a hobby, you listening to me, you're going to get paid like it's a hobby. And if you treat it like it's just some little side thing, then just expect to get some little side money. So that's one tip that I definitely have to give you and ask, I always ask myself, am I treating this like a business, or am I treating it like a hobby? And am I upset with my income, or am I happy? And what can I do to change that? The next thing is that, I think social media is amazing, but I think so many people in direct sales use it incorrectly. I think there's nothing, for me personally, and I know there's already people, because my upline, I've talked about it, who have differing opinions. I don't add anyone to my page that doesn't ask to be in there. I personally can't stand when I'm added to groups and I didn't ask to be put in there, because literally I'm put in like 10 groups a day, if not 20. And I'm removing myself all the time, because guess what? I already have a friend that sells LuLaRoe if I want leggings. I already have a friend that sells Roden and Fields. I already have a good friend who sells Plexus. I was a Beachbody coach. I don't need your stuff. I've had coaches add me to their groups. So to me, it shows me that they haven't even taken the time to look at anything in my profile to really try to get to know me. And so that's personally my rule of thumb, that I don't add people to my page. And in my online, and I call it my store, right? My store has over 1,000 people within 4 weeks. And that truly is a grassroots, really just, it started from me and my husband, because if you make a Facebook page, you have to have one person. But it truly has just been me genuinely sharing this and asking everyone in it that loves it to share it too. And so I know a lot of you also have requested in my page, and I'm really sorry, but if I really don't want other distributors in my shop, mainly because those are for my customers, and not because I don't want to share any tips. Hello, I'm doing this video, but because that's my store, right? And so, we all have our own businesses, and I really want that number of customers to be an authentic number for me to know, like, am I really growing my business? So I'm always happy to share tips, but I really would appreciate, please don't request into my group, because I am starting to have to look at everybody's profiles. And if I see you doing this on your video or your profile picture, I pretty much know you're a SeneGence distributor, which I'm all about sharing. I just, that's my store, that's my livelihood. And I also know that there are people who poach, which is not cool. And I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying I'm trying to protect my own store, my own customers, my own team, all of that good stuff. So with all of that being said, let me move on. So social media, I think a lot of people use it incorrectly. And I think they basically, like I called it in my previous business, Beachbody vomited all over people. And I think anybody can Unique vomit, can LuLaRoe vomit, can SeneGence vomit, all over people. And people don't like that. Truth is, people don't follow you because of what products you use. People don't follow you because you lost a lot of weight. People don't follow you because you put your stamp of approval on a product. People follow you because you are you. And if I can just get one thing across to you guys that I truly was told for a long time, but I didn't know if I truly believed it until now, is that you are your brand. You are the only thing that makes you so special, which is what is so special, because nobody can duplicate what you're doing. Yes, somebody can create a graphic and, copy it, or, do another video that you did, or wear the same outfit or whatever, but nobody can truly duplicate you as a whole, as a person, and your brand. And so really figuring out your brand. What is your brand? My brand is my faith, my family, encouraging women, and marriage. I talk about those things very often. I talk about them very consistently. You can scroll through my social media and you will see those things. I talk about them unapologetically all the time. Do you want to lay down? Hold on. Let me put her down on her play mat and see if that helps her a little bit. And so figure out your niche, figure out your brand, and just post about that consistently. And really, I would say limit the amount of product talk, because if people start to follow you because they like you and they like what you have to say, you don't have to post about lip sense every single day, every single, or every post, right? So I encourage you, go through your social media and see, like, do people really get to know who you are, or do they just see that you represent a product? Because you are your brand. And so I encourage you to be authentic to that and stick to that. Let me see here. And I will say the whole thing, let me just kind of piggyback off that you are your brand. So I was told that forever and thought, okay, like that makes sense, but I don't know. And I will say it is so true, because I literally gave up a business that I built for 3 years to do this. I gave up a salary, I gave up a team, I gave up everything. And I have a lot of people really, really still being extremely encouraging, extremely supportive. And a lot of people have said, hey, like, I want to do this with you. The other thing to kind of piggyback on the Go Givers Sell More, I have helped a ton of coaches in my previous business who were not in my downline. I have I answered a lot of messages that have nothing to do with my income. And it's crazy, but it's also awesome that so many of those girls who were not on my team in my previous business have now been like, oh my gosh, I have always wanted to be on your team and I couldn't, because you have to cancel your account and wait the time. But they are jumping on it now. And so it's been kind of a blessing, because I gave them something in the past. I gave them my time, I gave them my advice, and I gave them my heart in the past. And it didn't make any difference financially for me. I just did it because I wanted to help them. And now it is paying off. And so I know sometimes when we do things, again, God doesn't always give us what we want right when we want it, but goodness gracious, I can just see the whole story like unfolding. And it's been really, really humbling and really, really, really awesome. So I'm not going to cry. I told myself I would not cry on this video. So another tip that I have is to give quality customer service. Think about Walmart and think about Nordstrom. Where would you rather shop? If you had $1,000, where would you rather go? Yes, maybe Walmart has some cheaper stuff, but you are going to get really good customer service in Nordstrom. And so I really strive to give my customers and my coaches not coaches, I'm so used to saying that, distributors, Nordstrom customer service. Although distributors, again, you definitely want to have people who are you want to really recruit people who are self-sufficient. And, I didn't ask my distributor, my sponsor, Casey, I didn't ask her every single question I had. I was resourceful. I went and Googled it. I went and looked in other groups. I searched the groups. And so you really want to, have those kinds of people. But still, you want to treat people like they're really worth something. I had a horrible experience in Walmart once when I was 38 weeks pregnant with my son. And literally I won't shop in Walmart because of the experience I had. They were very rude to me and like yelling at me at like 38 weeks pregnant. It was just a horrible experience. But so I really strive to give my customers Nordstrom service, and I really just try to treat people like they matter, because everyone does matter. Whether they buy something from me or not, you matter. And I think that really speaks volumes. And so it's not always looking for that next sale, because again, I've helped a lot of people in health and fitness prior to this business that had nothing to do with my income, and they didn't want to buy anything off of me, but I answered their questions and I treated them like they mattered. And I think that's really important. I think another thing is enthusiasm and excitement. So if you can't tell, like, I'm super pumped about this business. I am elated, and I feel like it truly is a gift from God that he put this in my lap and put Casey in my life at the perfect time. She's been in my life for a while. She just didn't really know it. And so I think that talking about it and showing your enthusiasm and excitement is so important, especially in my online store. I am sharing with them every day. Like when I get a shipment, I show them. I'm like, look what I got. It's coming out to you, right? When I get a new color and I'm going to put it on, like I show them. When a new color comes back in stock, or, I create hype around the fact that, pink champagne just came back yesterday, and posted it in there. It was like, get it while it's hot. I ordered 20. Whoever wants them, you can have these, but if you want more, go ahead and let me know and I'll order more. So really just creating that sense of like excitement and enthusiasm, because if you're not excited about it, why would they be excited about it? If you're not enthusiastic about it, why would they be? Same goes for the business. I think that so many people won't talk about the business opportunity in fear of a few things. Leadership, which can be somewhat scary. Maybe the fact that you aren't really sold on the business yourself, or maybe you feel like because you're not making $1 million already that you can't share this with other people. I just want you to know that there is nothing further from the truth. You need to share this gift with people, and you have to look at this business like a gift. This is not about you making 10% off of somebody's first 100 PV and then making 10% off of, all of your first line, and 20% and 30% and all that jazz. Yes, that is totally an amazing thing, and that is part of it, especially for those of us that are money driven, because I am very money driven. However, it really is about sharing this opportunity with people, because there are so many women who could totally benefit from this. Moms who want to be at home with their babies like me, women who want to get out of debt, maybe add income to their household, to pay off student loans, to buy a car, whatever. This is a true gift. And once you start to realize that the opportunity that you have to literally share with somebody, you will be unapologetic about sharing it. I try to add it in like everything that I do. So the other day, for example, I did a video with a product that I just got. And in the video, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I've been totally MIA for you guys. Like I haven't done a demo, but I have all these colors. I'm going to do a demo for you soon. But I've been doing demos for all of my new distributors. Oh my gosh, I have added, 50 women to our team, which is super exciting and amazing, but I've been doing demos for them. So again, that's just planting that seed of like, oh, not only is she being successful here in this place, but she's also helping other people do the same thing. And I am. And so that just, again, talking about the business opportunity, plant the seed. I jokingly bring it up too. So anyone that is like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is amazing, right? I'm just starting to get feedback from customers, right? And so as soon as they tell me that I hope you guys can hear her. She's making all kinds of noises, playing on her little tummy time mat. Anytime somebody says they love a product, I say, hey girl, like, have you thought about it? Like, have you thought about becoming a distributor? If anything, you can be, a preferred member and get 20% off. But if you're sharing this with your friends, like I'm sure you already are, you can make money too. And 90% of the time they're like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. Or yeah, I had a question about that or whatever. Or yeah, I want to sign up, sign me up. Right. So those are my top tips, I think. I've worked really hard. I think the other thing is, I have one more tip, but I'll end with that one. I think a lot of people maybe will look at my social media and see, like, I can post a picture of my kid and it gets, 100 likes or 200 likes, which I just want you to know that 3 years ago, that wasn't the case. 2 years ago, that wasn't the case. Really, over this last year is, again, momentum and consistency is when my social media really started to pick up. I have 2 pages. I have my personal page, like we all do, and I also have a business page. My business page started with 0 people, me, myself, and I, and it got no love for the longest time. I was the only person liking it on, maybe like 2 or 3 people here and there, and then slowly with consistency, with not letting the devil get in my mind and tell me that I'm not doing it right or that I'm failing, or obviously there's always ways to improve things, but like with consistency over time, my 2 likes, for every post got to like 10 and got to like 20. And now you can look over there and you can see it's pretty much the same momentum as my personal page. And so that's really, really, really exciting for me, because in the beginning of last year, I decided to take my previous business off of my personal page completely and put it all on my business page. And so I focused 100% over there. I actually stopped posting on my personal page at all. And so it was very hard to do that because I had no following over there. And I felt like I was going to miss out and everybody wasn't going to, follow me anymore. But the truth is that the people who wanted to come over came over. So not all the people that I just randomly added when I first started direct sales and like tried to make friends with everybody because I wanted them to buy my product and join my team. The people who genuinely liked me because I've been consistent with sharing my brand, the 3 to 5 things that truly make me who I am and are the core to who I am, that even if I was not a distributor trying to build relationships, I would still post that stuff, right? Just like as a Beachbody coach, I still post health and fitness things on my personal page, just not as much. And you don't see me doing Shakeology selfies, anyone that's familiar with Beachbody. And I'm maybe not going to do as many videos on like exercises, but it's still a part of who I am, especially now that I'm postpartum and trying to get rid of this weight. But it's just sharing consistently. So my very last tip, and my biggest tip, because I think it truly changed my life, getting into direct sales has been such a blessing. And it's been really hard too, because I know there's a lot of moments of self-doubt. There's a lot of moments of just wondering what the heck you got yourself into and why are you doing this? And truly, are your God-sized dreams, are they even possible? I want you to know they're possible. And I am living proof, because I worked really, really hard in my last business and felt like I just couldn't get anywhere. And I know that's discouraging. And I know some of you might be there today. And so I want to encourage you to pray about it. If you're the praying kind, maybe I'm a little postpartum and hormonal. If you're the praying kind, pray about it. If you're not the praying kind, pray about it. I pray about my business all the time. I prayed about my business all the time. And while I feel like God gave me success in my last business, he kind of put a cap on it. And I think 2 reasons. I think because he really wanted me to learn to lean on him and not be so, I learned a lot of lessons in that business. To be humble, because anything that you have is truly a gift from God, any success. And that's why I am so adamant about sharing that piece with my success in this business so far. I don't take it for granted, and I don't think I'm any more special than anyone else. I just think that God is blessing me. And I think part of that is because I have been obedient. I think part of that is because he knows I'm a soldier for him, and I am first and foremost. I don't care if a woman buys lipstick from me. I care that people come to know Jesus, who's totally changed my life. And that is my mission. And if I can do that through a business as amazing as this and make an income for my family, then that is just truly, truly amazing. And I think one thing that we have to remember, especially those of you that are Christians, can't believe I'm crying, is that we are here to share him, his love, and his hope. And that we sometimes have to store our treasure, not sometimes, we have to learn that storing our treasures up in heaven is where it's really at. And while we want the treasures on earth because we're human and we have an earthly nature, and I think truly God does want us to have a lot of things. I really do believe that. Maybe not. Maybe his definition of a lot is different than our definition of a lot. But I want to encourage you to not be discouraged. And if you are sharing a mission beyond just selling somebody something, Go Give or Sell More, that, like I said, that great book. I promise you, you will be blessed abundantly. And it might not look the same way that you thought it would on earth. But I would much rather share Jesus and have a sister in heaven with me one day than having a friend wearing beautiful lips. And I say that because I do feel like God has blessed me with a platform on social media to share him. And if you are one of those women who don't have Jesus in your life and you want to, please reach out to me. I would love to talk a little bit more about that with you, if you feel led to even have that conversation. I did not plan on this turning into any type of a witnessing thing. I just want to encourage you not to be discouraged in your business. Oh, I'm a hot mess. Look at this. But this is me. So I just want to encourage you, don't be discouraged. And please don't look at somebody like myself who has had literally like overnight success and think that you're the worst and that you're not doing anything right, or that, you know, and I'm not saying that you can't fix things and you can't do better at things, because I think we truly always have to be perfecting what we're doing. Be resourceful. Look on Google, look on YouTube. If you want to build a business page like I have, go find resources to do that. I have paid lots of money to do trainings, to do different things. I've invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of emotions into, you know, that business and that piece of it. And it's paying off now. And it was paying off in my other business, but it's really paying off now, right? And so I just want to encourage you, remind me that I really need to buy our, if it would ever come back in stock, I could buy our eyeliner because this is not good, right? Anyways, I want you don't to be discouraged, and don't look at someone like me and I say this, you know, don't be envious, or don't compare, because I did that in my last business. And I looked at women and I would look at their social media and I would try to figure out what are they doing and how can I do better and why are they excelling and I'm not, and all of those things. And I don't want you looking at me like that. I really don't. I think you can learn from anybody. I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. Literally, like if you could see the lipstick that I'm staring at, I really don't know how to run this business, but I do know how to put my hope and my trust and my faith in God to give me the success that he wants to give me, to be able to share my true mission and passion in my life, and to really store my treasures in heaven while he is blessing me abundantly to be able to, hopefully, right? I haven't made a big bucks with this yet. And I'm still trying now. I need to make up a salary that I just had a week ago. I didn't get paid yesterday like I normally do. And so I'm really, really trusting in him to bless me with this business and to bless me with my other business, and just to see where it takes me. So that was not at all where I really thought this was going to go, but I really hope that maybe you got some nugget out of what I've shared, whether it's the customer service and treating people like Nordstrom. I also think treating people like they're your best friend, right? Don't be fake. But I say, hey girl, a lot. Hey girl's like my line. Like, hey girl, hey sugar. Like I say, hey sugar, hey girl, hey love. Like depending on our relationship, I will say all those things to you. And I do that to customers who I don't know, because if you were to literally come in my store, I'm going to treat you like a friend and not like some, like, you know, customer, and I'm the owner, right? And so I treat my customers like that. I treat my teammates like that. Same deal. So whether it's the customer service thing you picked up, the enthusiasm, the excitement about the business, talking about the business, stop being afraid to talk about the business and offer the business opportunity, people. I will offer it to anyone at any time because it truly is a gift. Whether it's the branding and you needing to figure out what is your brand, because I can promise you lip scent is not your brand. You have to come up with another brand that totally represents you, because guess what? There are 75,000 or 774,999 other distributors besides you that can offer them the same product. So why are you different? Why would somebody come to you over somebody else? And that is your brand. That is what's so crucial in a social media type driven business, and even a face-to-face belly-to-belly business too, but that's really crucial. Social media consistency, but not SeneGence lip sense vomiting all over people. People don't like that. At least I don't, and I don't want to be known as that girl. Social media, being resourceful, do trainings, find things, like figure out how you can do better at Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook ads, like whatever. You have to figure out what you want to do and do it. I suggest picking one platform, becoming an expert in it, and then moving on to the next. So I became an expert in my personal page of Facebook, and then I went over to a business page. Now I feel like I'm somewhat becoming an expert in that, and so I really need to figure out, what do I want to do? Do I want to do Instagram? Do I want to do my blog, which is probably going to be my blog because I don't really like Instagram, and I really don't even understand Snapchat still to this day. Like, I don't get it. I have a page, but I maybe snapped, like, I've taken the photos and the filters like a couple times, but with my son, really, I just don't get it. But that's neither here nor there. Treat this like a business, get paid like a business. Treat it like a hobby, get paid like a hobby. And go give or sell more, be duplicatable. That's something I had in here that I didn't mention. So when you get distributors that come to you that want to know how to do this, you have to have a system in place. You have to have a process that when they come to you, that they're not bombarding you with 1,000 questions, that you can literally just say, start here. And then from there, you should have other resources for them. And if you don't have the resources, I promise you, your upline does. It's because somebody in this business has figured it out, right? And so while I don't have all the answers, my sponsor has a ton of answers. And so I go find it from her, and then I create it again for myself and my own people, or I just tag them in whatever she has. So until I get my own, right? So I hope that helps. I hope that gives some light into my crazy, unexplainable success overnight, truly, that I'm so grateful for, and I'm so humbled. But I'm no different than any of you. And I know without a doubt that so many of you have so much potential, and whatever your God-sized dreams are, I want to encourage you to go for it. Like, go for them. Just because you haven't had a rock star January, or maybe you had a lull in your business or whatever, pray about it. Make sure you're in the right business. Make sure you are doing all that you can to truly make this thing succeed, and just keep going. You're going to have ups and downs. Trust me, every month is probably not going to be recruiting 50 plus people with $18,000 in sales. Honestly, I hope it's not, because I am literally drowning. And I honestly don't even know exactly what I'm doing, right? And so be true to yourself, be true to your brand, pray about your business, and go get it, girls. Go get it. Like I always say, get it, girl. And I can't wait to see and meet so many of you at the event in April, is it? I think I snagged a ticket at the very last minute. It was that whole should I do it? Should I not? I'm so new to this. I haven't even quit my other business yet, but I will be there with my newborn in tow, and I can't wait to meet so many of you amazing people. And I wish you all the best in your business and in life. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.